As IBP
high
president,
ranking, yes.
you have taken the IBP into a partnership with the Commission on Human Rights.
Yes.
And I understand that your agreement is for IBP lawyers to provide legal assistance
Yes.
to families of victims
Yes.
or witnesses. Can you tell us more about this experience and what the results so far of your partnership have been?
Well, it is a new partnership, so currently we're still in the process of enlisting lawyers to be involved in the defense or prosecution, etc. All the legal work that may be involved in these cases where human rights are allegedly being violated. Of course, it is always a problem of logistics and, of course, security because the lawyers are concerned of personal safety also. But we are getting positive results. People say so many things about lawyers, but you will be you will be amazed that there are really, lawyers who take this thing as a cause. Yes.
Like the Commission on Human Rights
Yes.
is doing its own investigations, but they need assistance of lawyers, right?
They are undermanned. They are the Commission on Human Rights is can only do so much, and if the claim is true that there are indeed thousands of shall we say, murders that are not sanctioned or were not actually in response to a direct threat as claimed, well, then we are looking at 4,000 possible prosecutions.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
And I was wondering, how will lawyers like you get information apart from those given by the witnesses? Will you have access to the Philippine National Police in getting all the data you need, or will that be the job of the CHR?
Well, that's the basic problem actually, because we have difficulty also sourcing all these official records. In fact, there is now pending in the Supreme Court petition brought by lawyers also. And the last time I heard, the Solicitor General has moved to reconsider his former commitment to submit the documents to the Supreme Court, and is now saying that as a matter of national security, they cannot release the documents. The IBP, on our part, when the Kian de los Santos killing happened, we also requested for documents in relation to the Operation One Time Big Time that was conducted for 3 nights, I think, in a row. So we sent out letters to the PNP leadership and used as basis the constitutional right to information of the people and the IBP's mandate also as the one assisting in the administration of justice in the country and as officers of the court. But we were generally ignored, and we wrote several stations, about 20 of them, requesting for information, and the response was uniform. We cannot submit unless cleared by higher leadership.
So did you go to the higher leadership?
Yes, we did write the chief of the Philippine National Police, but we were not, as far as I know, up to this time, we were not obliged with a response.
So that's going to be a problem in really digging deep into these cases, especially the One Time Big Time was very specific, and you ask very specific number of police stations.
Yes.
So in a way, this Kalida's response to the Supreme Court of not providing the data is similar to the response you got from the stations.
Correct. Because you must realize that if these are indeed legitimate police operations, there must be a record from the very beginning up to the end, up to the actual investigation of, because it's par for the course, it's SOP. But if they cannot produce it, then there must be something wrong.
So maybe you can guide us, lay people.
Yes.
What documents or what is the process? What are the documents we should look for?
Yes.
You were saying from the beginning there should be
Yes.
the name of the person being
Yes.
investigated.
Yes.
It should be in a police blotter or.
Well, they have spot reports
Okay,
initially.
so we need the spot reports.
We need the spot report, the pre-operation reports.
Okay.
Well, the pre-operation report comes ahead because that is where they detail
Okay.
their supposed operation,
Yes.
their planned operation, and the spot report, of course, when the operation actually happens, and then the report finally. If there is an
Yes.
arrest, there should be an affidavit of arrest, and if there is a death, there must be so-called investigation, and the drug tests, if the allegation is that the drug lord is the killed person was supposedly a drug addict. So
That's a lot of documentation.
yes, per case.
Per case.
Yes, and if the claim is true that those are legitimate police operations, there should be no trouble producing the case
right.
folders.
So I think you know the answer.
Well,
I mean, why they have not given you this.
well, there is a
documents.
presumption in law that when evidence is suppressed, that is not favorable. But that's the dilemma now of government, because on the one hand, they're saying those are legitimate operations, but on the other hand, they're not releasing the documents. So it's possible that the ICC can see that, well, there must be some systematic, shall we say, effort not to bring to light the circumstances behind
Yes,
the operations.
because apart